Hello, I'm Archie Luxury and welcome to the program. And today I'd like to present a new series, Ask the Watchmaker. That's right, Ask the Watchmaker, where we look at some common questions which we pose to our watchmaker. Please enjoy this new series, fuckers, and if it works, I may even make more episodes. Enjoy, fuckers. And Carl, we're just talking about some waterproof watches. We were discussing before that you were advising for anyone who's got a waterproof watch like an Omega Seamaster or a Rolex Submariner, your advice is that they get the watch checked every 12 months. What exactly are you checking? Are you servicing it, or are you just, what are you doing exactly?
Yeah, with that, we're basically just checking the condition of the seals and the outer case. Obviously, if you keep the watch serviced regularly, overhauled regularly, every 5 years or so, the movement itself may only need slight tweaking or regulation as far as timekeeping goes. But with checking the seals every 12 months, it's basically just a matter of taking the seals out, making sure they're in good condition, and cleaning them up, because some dirt and dust does, and mud and whatever the like, does collect around those seal cavities. So clean all that out, re-lubricate them, put them back in place. If they need to be replaced, then it's easy for the watchmaker to get the correct size seals or the correct seals from the brand agents, install them for you, and then re-pressure test the watch if the case needs it.
Now, Carl, you were advising us that it's not a good idea to wear your watch in the shower. You were saying that the steam is a big problem, and also you were saying the soaps and things in the shower will gunk up on the watch, and it's not a good thing for the watch.
Yep.
Carl, I've bought myself a Submariner, and I'm not really much of a sportsman, but I've bought a Submariner, and I've gone on holidays for a week. What do you think of wearing the watch in a spa? Now, a spa often has a lot more chemicals than a normal swimming pool. Is it a good idea to wear my watch in the spa?
In the spa, it's probably not the best idea to wear it. You're better off treating it like a shower. Take it off when you're in the spa and put it back on when you come out of it.
Now, what advice do you have if I go swimming at the beach with my Rolex on? What should I do when I come out of the water?
When you have been in salt water, the best thing to do is to rinse it off in fresh, clean water. Okay, the salt can build up and do the same as soap can in a shower and dry out the seals. So just give it a quick rinse to get all the salt off it.
Now, someone said to me you should put the watch in a cup of normal water. Is that true, to get the salt out of it completely, or is just rinsing it under a tap adequate?
Just rinsing it under a tap, and maybe if you've got an old toothbrush or a fine brush, if you want to just scrape around the edges where the sort of you might have crevices and that in the case, you're free to do that. Yeah.
Now, Carl, I had a very sad tale to tell you there. If somebody's gone swimming at the beach or in a pool, and they noticed that the crown isn't screwed in, what should they do?
If the crown's not screwed in, screw it in as soon as you can. The crown, or some pushers are even screw in, and a lot of crowns are screw in these days. You need to make sure that that's completely secured firmly against the case before you go anywhere near water.
Now, Carl, what should you do if the unfortunate happens and water gets inside your watch, like you get some condensation? Like I had a Rolex Datejust two-tone which had a plastic glass, so it was a 16013, and it used to fog up. What should I do about that?
The best thing you can do in that sort of circumstance, if you can't get to a qualified watchmaker straight away, put it dial up in a sunny position, so at least the moisture will get to the top of the glass and hopefully evaporate from the inside of the movement. As soon as you can, you need to get to a qualified watchmaker so they can thoroughly disassemble the case and take the movement out, dial in hands, complete movement, dry it out properly over a couple of days under a set temperature, and then they can test to see if any damage has been done, and then also they can see what seals need to be replaced, because obviously something's failed if the watch is fogging up.
Now, Carl, I've got a watch that I inherited from my dad, and I had it fully serviced,
It's a slim dress watch. It's an Omega dress watch, and when it's really quite humid days and I'm wearing the watch, even though I'm not doing sports with the watch, it's also fogged up. What's wrong with this watch? I thought this was an expensive watch. What does that mean?
You do get that sometimes, where some of the dress watches, especially some of the slimline dress watches, get a bit of condensation in on, especially in Queensland weather with high humidity. It doesn't necessarily mean that anything is faulty with the watch. It could mean that the seals are deteriorated and need to be looked at. It could mean that see, a lot of the dress watches are really only regarded as dust resistant, so they even lots of high amounts of sweat or humidity will get into the case. You've got to keep in mind that some of these cases don't actually have any seals at all. Of course, from the outside it can be hard to tell from a non-qualified person as to whether a watch has seals in or how properly it's sealed up. So if that happens, again, just put it in a sunny location.
Should I use a hairdryer to speed it up, or is that I could damage the watch further by a hairdryer?
It might not be the best option to use a hairdryer. If you do use a hairdryer, use it on a very low setting. If you use too high a temperature, it can, probably the main thing is put too much heat onto the paint and lacquer that's on the dial. And next thing you'll find is after a couple of weeks or days, the lacquer and the paint is peeling off the dial because it's been heated up too much.
Oh, I see there. As far as sports watches go themselves there, what's the situation as far as watches like the Omega Seamaster chronographs? These are a chronograph watch which is supposed to be waterproof. Is that a true statement, or does such a watch exist, and should you use it in water?
Yeah, the term waterproof was really came about when watches first became waterproof per se back in the 1940s. With the advent of international ISO standards, the term waterproof is really not regarded anymore. It's only called water resistant. For something to be waterproof per se, it needs to be totally enclosed and not being able to get to. Watches, of course, have parts in them that can be operated by the wearer, such as the crown and the pushes. So straight away the term waterproof just doesn't apply anymore.
I see. As far as watches go there, how long should you get out of a watch? How long does will a watch last for if you service it?
If you have a good quality watch and you service it regularly, every 5 years or so with mechanical watches, it will last a lifetime. Most of the good brands carry stock or will be able to get spare parts to the watchmaker over a long period of time, talking about decades. So if you've got a lot of people I see have a good quality watch that was given to them on their 21st birthday, they looked after it, and 30, 40, 50 years down the track, that watch is still able to be serviced and keep fairly good time.
Okay, thanks very much for your time there, Carl.
Thank you.
We specialize in the repair of Rolex and Patek Philippe watches. We've been doing the same thing for more than 25 years. We have Rolex technicians certified by Rolex who actually used to work for the company for many years, like if we're doing the work on the factory. We completely disassemble the watch and we put it to work like brand new condition. When you get a pre-owned watch, it's like if you're getting a brand new unit. The only difference is the money.